Hey everybody, let me talk in this video about storage. When we use our application, so we define variable. When we close our app, all data is gone because everything is stored in the RAM. So when the application terminate, all the variable will be terminated by garbage collection and done. So what about if I want to keep my data saved even if I close the app and I reopen it again? This what means storage. Android supports three types of local storage. Local storage means the data will be stored in the phone, in the package of my app. You will see it soon. So one of the data I could store using Android, it is shared reference and file, and I could also create tables and relation between tables using SQLite. So let me start with shared reference. Let me suppose I have this layout. It is having one edit text. Name it. I just give it name edit user. This one I give it edit text password. This one button for login and this one button for load, or this one for save and this one for load. Let me do a shared reference that allow me to save the both fields that will be entered here in the file. Then when I close the app and reopen it again, just I click load, it will load it to me. Okay. So if I go here, this is the first text view just to let you show. This is edit text. Let's give him a hint. So I will say, okay, I have hint, enter user name. This will be a hint, just hint. It's not real data. Also for this one, I will ask him to enter password. Hint. I will say enter, okay, password. So he will enter username, he enter password. Then when I click save, it will be saved in the database. Let me just, if you want to say register, it will be better for you. Register or save, whatever you want to name it, name it. So okay, I want to, when someone click on this button, I will save the data. Okay, I will say on a click, when someone click on this button, call bu save. Bu save means saving data. You see, there is no event bu save, so let me be here again, stop here, then I will see this again. I will say, okay, I want to get this event. Here you go. Now I have this event for save. To make your work more managed using shared reference, it's better to create a new class for shared reference and separate it from your local work. So let me say this one will be shared ref. That means shared reference. Okay. Just let me start and create a new constructor here. I will say, okay, I have public constructor. This will receive context because shared reference need a context as a parameter, so I have to receive this context in the initialize of this class. So first of all, I need to initialize my shared reference. So first I need to define shared reference. Let me name it shared ref in this name. Then I define it, so here I need to initialize. So to initialize, I will say, okay, context dot, I call it get shared reference. Then what is the file name? Give it any name. Let me name it my reference. Whatever you name it, but make sure from the name. So it should be double quotation here, not single quotation. So double quotation. Now I'm adding for the file name. So you could give it any name. I name it my ref. Then I send context dot app approved or mode private. I just say mode, then private, this mode. This is just parameter that this shared reference get it. So okay, I have shared reference. I just initialized my shared reference. Then just for example, this line will do a file for me, name it shared reference, and name it my reference, and that's okay. Now let me talk about method for saving. I want to save data, so let me define public. Then I will say save data. This is for saving data. It will receive string. I'm saving username and password. I say okay, username and string for what? For password. Okay, that's great. I am getting two parameters for username and password. So for saving data, making sure this is not return anything, so public void. So now I want to save data. First, I want to save data in the file. I have to open it for editing. So I will define shared reference dot editor, make sure it's capital. Let me name it editor. Then I will say, okay, I will edit. Which file I will edit? I will edit this file. I will edit shared reference dot edit. So okay, I'm opening this file for edits. Now what I want to do to edit this file, first of thing, I want to add username. So I will say put I could put different type. If you see, I could put type string, I could save data as string, as integer, as boolean, as a float, whatever type. So for example, if I'm saving age, I will say put integer, but I'm saving string, I will say put string. Let me name it, give it any name, give it name, username, and give it the value. So what that mean? The shared reference saving data like table or like dictionary, saving keys and value. So when anyone opens the shared reference file, it will suggest number of keys with number of values. So when you want to save data in shared reference, you just define the key name, then you define the value for that key. So now I defined for editor for putting for username. Let me put another key. What's the key that I want to add? It's for the password. So just I give it title for the key or label, then give it the value. So now, okay, I added the username and password in this editor. Then I will say editor.comment. So to comment this change to the file. That's really great and easy way to saving data. Just you have number of keys and number of values. So if you want to use shared reference, just use the data will be saved in key and values. Maybe as I told you, maybe string, integer, whatever. Now I want to save. So how I would save it? Okay, I have this button having button click event. Make sure to create this BU save. So now, yes, I have two BU save. I already create one. So on BU save, I want to create a new instance from shared reference file. So I will say shared reference. I will say shared reference equal a new instance from shared reference. But if you remember, shared reference taking input parameter, taking context. So I have to send this. Why? Because I need to send this to the constructor. So the constructor will take this to make, so could he access to this file. This is how is the shared reference working. Now I want to call some methods. So I want to send data. I have to send two things, username, then I have to send the password to that file. That's great. How I could get username and password? I have two things. I have edit text, edit text username. If I remember, then I say, okay, find view by ID, r.id. What's the name for the username? I would say edit text username. I'm sure this one. Yes, this one for username. So yes, here is it. Also, if you see, it needs some casting. So here you go. Do the casting. This is for username. Let me do something for the password. So here I will find the edit password and making sure I'm doing here for the password. So okay, I would send here the username as he now. Yeah, so I would say get text. So because I will get text, make sure to change it to string because I need to change it to the string. Also, I would send the edit password to the file dot get text dot to string. That's great. Now, okay, I have my shared reference file, and my shared reference file I could send the username and password, and everything is great. Now, what about loading? I need here to load the file if someone calls it. So, okay, on a click, let me call bu load. Now there is not bu load. Let me just create this event. So I will create this bu load. Let's just minimize this screen. This is for loading data. So I need someone to load the data from the file. Here you go. If I go to shared reference, I need to create a new method for loading data. So public, I will return string from the file, for example, and will be this one load data, LOA data. It doesn't get any parameter, it's directly loading the data. So to load data, it'd be really easy, not so complex. I have already defined my shared reference. I could access to any key inside that shared reference. For example, I would say, okay, string data or result or string file result file content equal I just access to shared reference dot get. I could get integer, get float, get what. It depends what I put. If I put string, I have to use get string. So get string, which key I want to get? I want to get username. So here he will bring for us the username from the shared reference file. That is great. So what about if there is nothing? If there is no file, there is no username, I have to give it default. So I say by default, if there is no username, save it already, return no name. If someone call it and there is no username, return no name. That's great. So just to make the text more nicer, I would say, okay, username in this way, plus, yes, here you go. I would add just username in it, just make it nicer, my string. Then also, this is for the file. So I want to add another one for file content. I just adding. I will add the other key. I will take the key for the password. So get key that name it password. If there is no password, return no password and add this one as a password. So this is just string having username and password. So when I'm done, I will return this string. This is just reading data. So here I'm reading first key for username, and here I'm needing second key for password. Then I combine them in one string. I'll turn it back. So when someone now go to the main activity and I try to create a new instance in the same class, I could take it app, so it could be public, will be better. So now when I want to call here, I would call it string data equal shared reference dot loading data. So now, okay, data will be loaded. I could display it on message. I say to us dot make text get application context, then I display the data, then I would say to us dot long, then here you go, show is okay. But you cannot initialize the file from public place. You need to initialize it from the place that from the onCreate. So here I initialize it, everything's good. Let me click load to load my application. Here you go, the application is restarted. Now let just me click load. Should say username no name, password no name. See, username no name, password no name. Because when I click load, he will go to the shared reference and he say go to the load. He will look for username. There is no username, so he will tell it no name. For password, he will tell it no name. If I added username, let me say Hussein, and added password 12345, I would save. Okay, I'm saving everything. Now if I want to load, click load, he say okay, username Hussein, password 12345. Was that good? Or what we could do with this one, so if I close my application, everything I'm closing it, if I go back and open the application again, the data already saved. So if I go back here, localization, this is my app, so I just closed it already, then I try to open it. Let me try to load, see if I click load, he will load username and password. So this is what we could do with shared reference. But is shared reference secure to store important information? Unfortunately, no, because everyone could access to this shared reference. So where is saved this shared reference? I will show you. Let me go to the file, then go to a project instruction to get my SDK URL. Just copy the SDK URL and go to the terminal or command Windows and open it. Then make cd to that URL, whatever that URL be. Now I'm in SDK. If I click ls or dir in Windows, I will see this file. Let me go to platform Windows. I will say cd to platform Windows. Make sure you see the terminal in front of you. Here you go. If I see ls or dir, I have to see adb. This is what important thing. In Windows, you will write adb shell to start working. In Mac, you just have to add /adb shell. Okay, now I'm in the device root. You could say, if you did not see the word root, you could write su to change to the root. I'm in the root. Now I want to access to this app. How I could access to this app? First, I think I have to go to my app and find the app ID. Where is the app ID? Here is the app ID. There you go. This is my app ID. So let me go back and see what I could do with this ID. If I say ls, I will see all the file. This is my phone file, too many files. What I'm interested in, the file name is data. So I would say cd for data. I'm going to folder data. If I write ls, there is many files in the folder data. I want to go to another folder, name it data. So I will say again cd data. Now if I say ls, you'll see all the app that installed in this application. What I'm interested in is this one, the one that we work on. So let me make sure I say cd for my app ID. Here you go. Now I'm in the app. So if I click ls, I will see the data in my app. If you see one folder, this means the data that my application have it. One of the thing, if you see there is a folder for shared reference, if I click cd for shared reference, I'm in shared reference file. If I click ls, I will see this is my reference. Do you remember when we named this file, we named it my reference? So if I say cat for this file, you will see the data. See, the username is Hussein and the password is 12345. Sometimes you want to access to that file in very easy way, so let me show you how. If you want to access directly to your app without going all this CD and other stuff, I just doing CD to make you understand how it's going. You could go directly to this app by write run/as, then the package name. Well, the package name, that's our application ID. Here you go. Now if I click ls, I'm in the app. So here is my shared reference and you could read it. Here we're done, and thank you for watching.